Hey, you guys, welcome to the Women of Power radio show.
Hey, y'all. We're excited to see you. Y'all already know we have an exciting show planned for y'all this evening. So use this time wisely, okay? Time is of the essence. Go ahead, like and share the video. Okay? Yes, all of that. So again, if you're in any groups, relationship groups, love dating groups, whatever, don't just share on your page. Come on, like spread the love. Share there too.
And make sure you tag 1 or 2 or 3 people.
Hey, y'all.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Listen, welcome everybody to the Women of Power radio show. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Kasha Hunt. And over here to my left, we have none other than
Nana O, your poet's favorite poet.
Absolutely. So listen, at this time, everyone make sure you go and share the live broadcast right now.
We're going to use this time to share.
Yeah, let's share.
Same thing.
Listen, I pray everyone had an amazing week. So listen, for those people who are not on Facebook, remember that we have YouTube. So you can give them our YouTube, just YouTube Women of Power radio show, and they can join with us live there. We are looking forward to your comments, to your commentary on tonight's show. It's about to go down. Oh. And make sure we turn down our volume.
Okay, and again, if you are in any relationship groups or groups where y'all, maybe it's like all women, all singles, or anything about dating, love, relationships, please, again, if it's not going to get you kicked out, use this time to share the video. Because I even tried to share the promo, and I got all of them taken down today. So It's getting harder and harder. They don't like to share. So I don't know where you can share, but if you can, please do.
Hey, Ricky, thank you for joining us on tonight on Women of Power radio show. We got another exciting show lined up for you guys. And we're looking forward to your input. Make sure you guys make note of our social media so that you guys can go and like and share our social media platforms. And we're getting ready to jump in with our first question submitted by our listeners on today.
Yes.
What do we got, Nana?
All right. So I'll give you guys a minute. Let me pull this up. All right. So for our first question, this one is like a really hot topic because, I know people, or maybe you may be one of these people who, if you have a significant other, y'all have each other's passcodes, y'all be looking through each other's phone. But I don't know. I feel like, what good does that really do when y'all know y'all have a routine where you search through each other's phone? Because you're just going to delete it. They're just going to delete it. It doesn't even help. That's another story. So we have a young woman, though, who wrote in and said, should my fiance have my passcode, right? Because he says, if I have nothing to hide, then it shouldn't be a problem. But I feel like this is giving distrust, okay? Because she's like, I've never cheated, neither has he, so I'm not really sure where this is coming from or why he wants to start doing this, but she thinks it's overkill and it's like, there should be trust. So the question is, do you think that giving your significant other or your fiance a passcode to your phone is something that should be done? Or do you think that it's like, it's doing too much, it's doing too much? I don't know. I personally feel like it's doing too much. Because my thing is, again, I just feel like,
what is the significance of saying fiance? Is it just
I don't know
that particular status? You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's like, should your boyfriend definitely, we don't believe in boyfriends here. So he should definitely not have passcodes, keys, nothing.
Since y'all are going to be married, then
it
begs the question. It's like, wait a minute, because this is not just he's about to be your husband. So if you were to be married, would your husband have your passcode? And to me, that would make sense because y'all. But I know some people who are even married who feel like, no, that it ain't none of your business. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
I would say for me, should your fiance have your passcode? To me, I see that as like a commitment. Like, I'm off the market now. And so why not? I don't understand why people get into committed relationships. And like I said, commitment is like fiancés, marriage, and still have stuff to hide. Like, when do you put aside, you know what I'm saying? When do you lay down your trickery?
The things, what if it's not even that you're hiding anything? This is my thing. I personally feel like for the people who give pushback sometimes, because I've been in this situation kind of before, but it wasn't even that I had anything to hide. It was the fact that they felt the need to do that. It made me feel like you feel like I'm doing something. And then for that reason, it was like, you're doing too much. Like, why? Where's this?
What did they do?
No, I'm saying that they wanted like access to.
They asked you for it.
Yeah, but I'm
Okay,
like, okay, where? Like, but why?
Right.
Do you think I'm doing so? Like, why do you need to? Why do you need it?
Well,
Even though I don't have anything to hide, you know, it's the fact that it's like, well, let me see. It feels like you. It makes me feel like you feel like I'm doing something. Then I want to be like, no, because then I get defensive.
I think it's mentally, like for some people, and that's one of the things I even mentioned, you know, when we were posting about it earlier, is that does this make people feel like this is the ultimate commitment? Like, I know this is real because they're trusting me with their passcode, because apparently it's like this huge deal. You know, it's a huge deal. Hey, welcome to the show, Vernon Andre Booth Senior.
Hey.
Minya, what's up, girl? Thank you for joining us
Hey,
tonight
y'all.
on the Women of Power radio show. Yeah, you know, they make it seem like it's like that's the ultimate thing. It's like, if I got your passcode, like this is real, this is it. But is that what it takes to know it's real?
And my thing is, it doesn't make it, especially this is my thing, right? Because like I said, I know couples who this is what they do. They know at any given time, their significant other is going to walk in and say, let me see your phone. And they do it to their significant other. So my thing is, if it's expected, what makes you think that if they were doing something, they're just not going to delete it anyway? Like if I know my job does random drug tests, then I'm going to make sure that if I'm doing drugs, I'm gonna make sure I'm clean exactly every single time. So my question is, what purpose does that serve in the long term? Because it's expected. So you're not. I feel like you're not really gonna find anything anyway. I don't know. I think it's weird.
William J. London, thank you for joining us on tonight. And maybe you can help us answer this question. Because if we supplicated the word fiance with husband or wife, would that make a different answer to the question? Let's see what Vernon Andre Booth has.
All right. Vernon said, if you've committed to the point that you are preparing for marriage, then a passcode should be no issue. Just my thoughts. Okay.
Thank you. And I have to say, I agree with him.
Yeah, I don't think it should, but I just feel
it should be something I shouldn't even have to ask for. You know, because I'm going to be honest with y'all. You know, everybody knows I'm like single right now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm open. Hallelujah. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I want to have that relationship with my husband to where, you know, if his phone rings, I can answer it. If my phone rings, babe, can you get that?
Tell me who sent me a text message. What does it say?
Right. You know, I want to have that openness, that freedom. I feel like if you're with somebody and you're like in a committed relationship like that, engaged or married, and they got an issue with you answering their phone, that's shady, shiesty to me.
It's a red flag.
Right. Even if it's nothing.
Amen.
Like, it is something though. They always say it's not anything. I'm a private person. Well, if you're private, you need to stay single. Because in marriage says that.
Say that one more time.
If you're private, you need to stay single.
Okay.
And just be private all by yourself.
I'm gonna type it just in case somebody missed it.
But if you're saying I want to be in a committed relationship with you, then you're saying I'm ready for you to become part of my life. I'm ready for us to become one. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I've got a lot of feelings about this, and I don't want to express them all at one time. But I do want to welcome Erica Mosley Lucky to the show. Tiffany Butler, thank you so much for joining us. We're so glad to have you on.
All right.
But
Minya said, it wouldn't bother me to share passcodes with each other. I don't even think about it for the sake of trust. Maybe I watch too much true crime, but I think it's good for safety. I watch true crime all day too, but I feel you.
Right. Yeah. Like, I mean, out of all the things in the world, this should be like, you know, the Bible talks about how we swallow on a gnat, or something about a camel. Something about a camel and a gnat. But we'll swallow a camel and choke on a gnat. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm going to jump into this marriage, this whole big commitment, but I don't want to give you my passcode. That's a gnat. That's like such a small thing. Like, dude, I promise you, get over it.
Yeah.
But we want to hear from you guys because I could keep going.
Have any of y'all ever been in that situation? Like, let us know. Have you been in a situation where you just volunteer your information, whether it's your login to your social media accounts, passcodes to your phone, any of that? Or have you been in a position where the person you were dating requested that information or your login or whatever? Like, how did you feel? Were you with it, or you were like, what?
Now, is it petty if I draw the line there? Like, why do you need passcodes to my social media?
Because I feel like it's the same thing.
Well, I mean, if you got the access to my phone, you got access to my social media, but like, why would you need to get in my back office? Because let me tell you something. I think what determines this is the premise behind it. Like, what is your intention? Mm-hmm. Do you want access? First of all, don't even ask me for access. Let me give it to you. Because if you ask me for it, that's raising a red flag. But the point is that, what is your premise? Like, is it because you don't trust me, or you want to
that's what I'm saying. It makes me feel like, why? Like, where's it? Especially if it's coming out of nowhere. It's like, well, what is this? What is this? What, you feel like I'm doing something? Like, what's up? Because
Right.
why would you just randomly be like, oh, I think that you should?
Right. I'm thinking it should be like what do we call it? Like a natural process. What do we call? What's the organic?
Yeah.
I think it should happen organically. Like, okay, we're engaged. Hey, babe, go ahead. Can you get my phone for me? That's letting you know it's okay for you to answer my phone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, babe, can you text mama? Oh, I don't have your code. Oh, my code is woo woo woo.
Mm.
To me, that's organic.
Yeah.
But you come to me and say, hey, we engaged now. I need that passcode. I need you to run the password. What?
That sounds real suspect.
Where do they do that? Like, I shouldn't have to ask for stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, I might say, babe, do you want me to get your phone?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he says, like, who's calling me? It's so-and-so. You want me to answer it? Yeah, go ahead. That lets me know, okay, whoa.
And like in hindsight, it makes sense to me because in the past, I was in a relationship where I couldn't touch the phone like ever. Even when he went to the bathroom, he took the phone with him. When he went to go take a shower, he would take the phone in there and then play music and be like, oh, the reason why I take it in there is because I need to hear the music. Of course, we all know later that was not the case. There was a lot going on in that phone.
Right.
So with that being said, I can understand why someone would feel the need like to be open because even how I found out, and this is so funny, how I said I wasn't allowed to touch the phone. It was around Christmas and my phone had got cut off. I forgot to pay my bill. Okay, I was in college. So I was like, I need to pay my bill. But since my phone is off, you know, Wi-Fi really wasn't popping like that back then. I was like, can I use your phone to log on to call and make a payment because my phone's off? And it was like, it was even hesitant. Then I'm looking like, what you mean? So finally he was like, yeah. And so when I went, I couldn't figure out how to use it because it was like different from my phone. My phone was like ratchet and it was all sophisticated. Right. So I hit on the wrong file. Like, because I was sending a text message actually to someone to tell them to pay it for me, and access a whole barrage of secret pictures and threads, and the whole nine came popping up, and so I had to play it off through the whole Christmas family event. I didn't see it. That was like the hardest Christmas because I had to just be everybody's face. Oh, hey, girl. Really, I wanted to knock him aside his head, but I couldn't do nothing. So
no, bye. You should have been like, look, I pushed the wrong button, but what is this?
No, and it was my
Give
friend.
me my gift when you talk about something.
My
because
friend,
if y'all be honest, sometimes we will stay. Well, I say we. I've done it before 2 years ago. But sometimes we will stay in something past its expiration date just because there's a gift coming.
No, I didn't have that kind of
right. Okay, so why did you wait? Because you was with his family or what?
Because I was with the family, and I was. It was really difficult too because it was my friend, like the girl whose picture popped up. Right. It was it was a close friend of mine. Like, you know what I mean. So to find out that they had that whole thing going on and find out like that, like I had just gone on a trip with this girl. We had just came back. We had gone out of town together, and she was sneaking at work and taking pictures for her. So I was just like,
no.
Merry Christmas. No. Marcus said organically, right? Okay.
Right, Marcus.
Vernon said,
Marcus Wilson, thank you for joining us on tonight.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
And JJ Jones, thank you for tuning in to Woman of Power Radio.
Y'all make sure you share the video, please, if you haven't already. Thanks. Vernon Andre Booth Sr. I gotta say the whole name because it just hits different when you say it like that.
Right.
So I personally never asked for it, but I have given it freely and had that trust used against me. Ooh. When the person went through and found messages they didn't like that were sent pre-relationship, that can cause major apprehension to sharing it.
This right here is, let's just put a pin in that right there, because no one should have an issue with anything that happened prior to their relationship.
Anything.
Unless, of course, like you find out the person you're dating molested a teenager, something crazy like that. But I mean, anything in prior relationship, that's not my business. And we get caught. Women, like I said, will swallow a camel and choke on a gnat. We have got to, everybody. We have got to stop.
I know some men who do the same thing.
Right. Yeah. That's just petty. Like, well, y'all still talking? If I was still talking, you would still see evidence.
You still want them?
Right.
Am I here or am I not here? Why are you asking me?
Right. Why is it still in the phone? Because I don't go back and delete stuff like some people do,
Yeah.
Not because I want to savor the memory of the text from 2012. I just ain't got a new phone since then. My text message is still there. I'm sorry. Can we go on? Can we go forward? But people will stay stuck in that place. Like it was pre-you. It's like, yeah.
I agree because I've had situations.
I already know what you're feeling. And I hate that they did that because you openly, to me, that's like a major thing saying, I trust you. For someone to say, here's my phone. Matter of fact, I'm going to the store. Keep my phone. You know what I'm saying? Use my phone. Are you on the phone? playing the game. Okay, look, I'm gonna go to the store. I don't care why, because I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
But even if it's people who may not even have nothing to hide, but they just so protected with their phone that it causes like concern and raises red flags, you know. But let's see what our listeners got to say, because
Marcus said, you went through that phone. Marcus, mind your business. I didn't go through the phone. Okay, I was trying to send a text message and I hit the wrong little, because you know how some people have files that are like within a file and you just see the thumbnails. That's what it was. So I thought I was hitting messages.
Right.
And then, she popped
you was
up.
Hidden messages.
And it was Martha.
Wow.
JJ said, I don't want the passcodes, but I also don't like if a man goes out of his way to be overly secretive. If I feel I can't trust you, I just won't be with you, period.
Right.
Yeah.
And vice versa. If you can't trust me, I would, y'all know.
Just don't be with me. Don't be with me. And then 21 question me over every small thing. Get jealous about every picture, every like, and who's this? How you know him? The waiter asked you. He smiled at you. You know him. He asked me for an order because that was an issue too. I went on a date once, and we were in a relationship already. Right. We had gone on our first date to Olive Garden. Apparently, he forgot. So now we like 3 years in. We go to Olive Garden again. We hadn't been since then. Right. And, college people remember people. Yeah. So the guy's asking for our order and everything. And then he made a comment about something. And then, but it had to do with his order. It wasn't even with me. But then he's like, why did you say like the last time that you ordered? Because we had the same order. I had referenced how we had him last time. And he's like, we've never been here. And I said, we have been here. We came here for the first day. Turned into a whole scene. I'm talking about glasses were broken. He was violent. No, yeah. Like he was. It turned into a whole situation because he thought like, well, why is it? You smiled at him and he was asking for my order. He was doing his job. Lord. So people can just be really crazy. You just got to be careful. JJ said, y'all cute. Okay, hair. Fall vibes. Feeling little rust, a little blondes.
A little fall leaves.
Okay.
Hair color.
Shantae Younger. Hey, Shantae. She said, I was going to say, okay, hair. Y'all got it going on, but I didn't want to be a distraction.
Thank you, sis. Come on, Virginia in the house. Yes.
JJ said, I don't care about your past unless it's interfering with our present and future. If I do ask about something, though, just be honest. And that's a disclaimer, men especially, because we women. If we ask you a question,
just tell the truth.
Most of the time, we already know, especially if it has to do with something about your past or like, did you? That means we already have the answer. We just want to see if you're going to tell us the truth. That we're not asking blindly. Keep that in mind, please, because a lot of times I don't know why it is y'all just feel like we're asking just because we actually want to know. We already know. Yeah, that is
half the time we ask the question, we know the answer. It's an interrogation. We say, "Where were you last night?" We know where you were last night.
We just want to know.
We just want to see if you're gonna tell the truth.
That's it.
It's just. People say trust is overrated, but I'm trying to tell you, when you look at the foundational things for a relationship, and that's even friendships, business relationships, or whatever, it has to be trust. Yeah. Without trust, we have nothing. And I was getting ready to say earlier, because everybody knows I love watching Steve Wilkos. Like me and Steve, like this.
One thing about Kasha, she's gonna bring up Steve every show. Just go ahead and write him for a sponsorship
because there's something applicable on every show. On every show we do. But one of the things I noticed is that half of the people on there are bringing people on to take a lie detector test to try to see if their relationship could go forward because the trust was previously broken. Like restoring trust is like one of the hardest things to do in a relationship, and it takes work. And the problem is most people don't want to do the work it takes to restore trust.
They want to apologize,
right? And you're supposed to just accept that and go on with your life blindly. Come on now,
I said I'm sorry.
Right. No, now you need to be accountable because before you weren't accountable. You could just say you was here and I believed you. But now that you have broken the trust, you lied about where you are, you lied about what you're doing. Now you got to take extra
See, that is brought me to another reel of my life. So that's a perfect example of rebuilding trust, right? Because when trust is broken and you're trying to work things out, your parameters are going to be different, right? Your boundaries have shifted because now you have to show the accountability in your actions. So for example, maybe it used to be you didn't give a passcode or you didn't show anything in your phone, or if you said you were going to be wherever, they took it for face value. Well, now guess what? You messed up. So if she says, okay, well, I want to see your phone because last time what you were doing was it becomes an issue of, well, why are you doing all that?
Right.
Because
Why
you
you
said
can't
you
just
forgive
trust
me,
me?
right? You said you forgive me, so if you forgive
You
me,
broke it, bro.
no, and they don't understand that a lot of my experience has been a lot of the guys will be like, well, you said you forgave me, so if you forgive me, then why I got to do all this? Because that's part of you showing
It's
that you're
a process.
doing exactly a process. You have to do some action steps to show you've actually changed, not with your words, because your words clearly didn't mean anything the last time.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So you have to be willing to do the work. And see, it frustrates me when people do something to break your trust and just want you to get over it. You know, just get past it, just get over it. No, I can't just get over it because evidently this is more serious to me than it is to you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm affected by your actions.
Affected, okay?
And infected.
Okay, all of that. Denise said our intuition is 99. And it's true. That feeling, that little 9. Holy Spirit,
this is the problem
to us.
Right, but this is the problem, Denise. What will happen is that people will get with individuals who will try to make you doubt your intuition, and they'll begin to make you doubt even your discernment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know God is showing me this and telling me this, but they will cause you to doubt it, and they won't even start with your intuition about them. They'll start with your intuition about everything else. You know what I'm saying? So when it gets to them, they're gonna be like, you know, your intuition off. Because remember,
you know how you can be,
right? You know how you can be. You know how you are. Like, no, and then
you calling your girls like, "Am I tripping?"
Right,
you're right.
You're not tripping, but they'll have you thinking you tripping, and then when you find out it's the truth, you're gonna feel stupid and tricked because you was right all along, but you allowed them to make you doubt what you already know. And the reason why I say that is because I know exactly what that is. I know what it is for someone to cause you to doubt what you hear God say. You know what I'm saying? To twist it and manipulate it to work out in their favor. And so, yeah, man, don't do it. Don't do it. Trust, man. God gave us this for a reason. You got to trust that thing in friendship, relationship. If you're in a business relationship and something fell off about the deal, don't do it. I don't care how much money on the table. Don't do it.
How far back y'all go?
Listen.
Okay.
You might be my, what do you call it? Day one,
ace, boom, cool.
Day 2, day 3, whatever, however many days. But look, if it don't make sense, don't do it.
Vernon said, "I've learned that once you're at the point of fiance and spouse, honesty is an afterthought and transparency is the standard." Okay, that's a meme.
I love
transparency is the standard.
The standard.
Put it on the shirt. I'm buying it.
It's what's expected. It should be a given. You know what I'm saying? Vernon. You reading the hearts of some people here. Because the reason why I say that is because that's really all we want. And you know, I get tired of people who say, well, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. So you would rather me be devastated later on by the truth than to tell me the truth and just hurt my feelings for the moment? Come on. I mean, how are you expecting to build off of that? You know, you spent $2,000 out the account and you didn't say nothing because you didn't want me to know that you had to help your mama. What are we doing? What are we in this for? If we're not together, then let's be apart.
Right.
You know, it's time out. And, you know, that's one of the things I love about this show, Nana, is because even though, you know, I'm in a different generation, you're a different generation, but we've got listeners from, you know, 18, 16 on up to 75, 82. But it's a learning experience for all of us. You know what I'm saying? To even, like he said, set standard. The standard should be transparency. If I'm married and I can't come home and tell my husband about a business deal that was proposed to me, if I can't talk to him about someone that tried to hit on me at work and how do I handle the situation without him being like, oh, so you talking to somebody at work? I don't need that, bro. I don't. I really don't. I don't need to be surrounded by a bunch of doubt and insecurities.
So you go somewhere, it's like, how many people are trying to talk to you? Anybody try to get you?
5. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? I didn't give anyone my number.
Right. That's annoying.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Marcus Wilson, what's up?
Marcus said, "Hey, them little Steve Wilkos clips do be addictive."
Listen, just back to back. Yes, I love Steve Wilkos.
Yeah. JJ said, "I do have a serious question for those who feel they need passcodes, even with the fiance. Why does someone feel entitled to that access? Sorry if that comes off offensive." So why, for
So,
those
I
who
don't-
do,
I don't think. Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to repeat the question, but I thought
Oh
you were
yeah.
answering it already.
Well, I was gonna say I don't think it's about entitlement at all. I think it's about like running to the level of transparency,
Mhm.
and that's why I said it should be something that happens organically. It shouldn't be like, okay, we engaged now. I need all your passcodes, but it should be something like we're sitting on the couch, your phone's over here, and you say, hey babe, who's calling me?
Mhm.
Hey, can you get that for me? Tell my brother I'll call him back. Respond to this text. To me, that's openness. Oh, well, babe, I can't get in your passcode. Oh, my passcode 2367. I would never take advantage of that passcode and try to go to that phone. Why? Because you gave it to me willingly. But what causes people these antennas of just
antenna? What was your antenna?
right? What just these antennas of, because sometimes people's actions can cause you to doubt their sincerity and doubt their level of transparency. Yeah. Like if we're married and every time I come in the room, you flip your phone over, and it may be nothing. It may just be a habit. But what that does is eventually it's going to start to raise some antennas. Like, what is on this that it's got to be flipped over every time? Or if it's always an issue, if we're somewhere and I don't have my phone, I left my phone in my purse in the car, and I say, can I use yours? And like you said, there's a hesitancy, there's an issue. That's all those is raising up antennas. I don't want a relationship where I gotta have antennas. Right. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to
turn us into a whole roach.
Right. I just want peace. You know what I'm saying? And peace is priceless. Right. You can't buy it, but you can get it. You know what I'm saying? You can be in a peaceful relationship, and that is, I'm gonna say, is 60%, 75. I don't know what percentage of transparency, but it's a high number.
It's very high. That's very true. I agree. JJ said, especially if they've never given you a reason to not trust them, and I think that's why this listener is writing in, because she thinks like he's never cheated, I've never cheated, so I don't understand where this is coming from. Like, why does he all of a sudden want my passcode? So I can understand that too, because I'd be like, okay, where's this coming? What's the motive? Like, why?
Right, but I have to ask, what is the substratum to the hesitancy? Like,
I'm just being vocabulary. No, I'm not saying that there's hesitancy, because I'd still be open, but I would wonder what triggered you to want it. Or is it just the mere fact that you feel like we're getting, like she said, because we're getting serious, I feel like that's something that I should have access to, because now we are one. You're my spouse, so that's something I should have access to. Right? Where is it coming from?
Like I'm saying, I think it would be a concern if they come to you and say, like, now we're engaged, I need all your passcodes. All right, what's your passcode to your phone? But let's just say your phone's on the bar and your fiance says, hey babe, what's your passcode? What would be the foundation of that hesitancy to give that?
I mean, I feel like in that flow of, like, that's organic. So I think it's more so
of them asking.
Yeah, or if you were to ask them and then they like you said, they hesitate, then that would make you, on the other hand, feel some type of way. Right. So
because I don't think you should have to explain, well, my phone is dead and I need to call my daddy. I mean, we shouldn't have to go through that. We getting ready to go into the most intimate places of each other. Come on here. Who cares about this phone?
Yeah.
Cry me a river, throw it in the river. I'm just saying, this should be like the least of our concern. And if there's anything in there that you would not want this person to see, remove it. Get rid of it.
Don't be doing
Delete
it.
all your porn sites. Get rid of all your.
Vernon said, I've been the very worst kind of man, and I felt the sting of what I did to women. Now my perspective, therapy, and Jesus, let's give him a shout out, have allowed me to grow into someone's future amazing husband. That's real. And we appreciate the transparency.
And I love the fact that you included and you weren't embarrassed to say therapy, because that is a misnomer that we've been dealing with in the African. Well, I'm just going to say cultures of color. Yeah, it's needed and it's necessary, and that's actually kind of jumping into our second question, but we're not going to go there yet because we're still in the midst of this. But that's beautiful, and thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
And all the single ladies. Now you know there's a brother on here who's ready mentally, physically, and emotionally.
We got some emotive testosterone I see in the room.
But let him find you.
D Nunn, we're going to get to your comments in a minute. Thanks for tuning in as well from YouTube. Denise said, you don't want to hurt my feelings, but you'll break my heart. Men are confusing.
Right.
Because they don't see that it would break your heart. They feel like they're saving you.
No. You know what it really is? They don't think they're going to get caught.
You think so?
Heck, Heck yeah.
All right. JJ said, but if I never want to give that, does that mean I'm not transparent and open? So you're never. Yeah, I would say yes, because why would you not? Is my question. Especially, let's say that is your husband. Like, why would you not want him to have that?
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I never want to give that. JJ, stop. See, if it was a real man on here, he would say, JJ, this is why you're gonna be single. Because if you don't have the ability to bend, you'll break. So you got to be amenable, sister. You got to be open to at least the idea, because you may have a husband that never asked for your passcode and never want to use your phone. But then again, you may have someone that wants access to your phone and say, "Can I have your passcode?" And how's he gonna feel when you say
no?
No, you can't have the passcode to my phone. Like, wait a minute, I can ask for your hand in marriage. I can ask you to spend the rest of my life with me. I can ask you for levels of intimacy that you would only reach with your husband. Hello.
But that's the thing. So you can be that intimate and that open with your body, but with a material device, all of a sudden it's clean.
I can ask you to put all our money together.
Yeah.
But you can't give me the passcode to your phone. It's something wrong with that, JJ.
Yeah.
What's in that phone? I need that passcode.
What's the call? Oh, that's Brother Nunn. I didn't know that.
Yes,
he said, being a fiance is the practice for marriage, so full access should be practiced even then.
Thank you, brother. Okay. Right. It's like you already have made the commitment. Now we just got to get this thing on paper. Get a cloud of witnesses. Come on here to come and witness this matrimony, and then it'll be, what do you call it? In cement or concrete or whatever. But yeah, absolutely. Like what? Yeah.
JJ said, I'm out here selling these. The truth. I lied to you because I care about your feelings. All right, baby boy.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's what he said, because somehow he thought that was doing her a service.
And that's what men say. I wanted to protect your feelings. If you wanted to protect my feelings, you wouldn't have got the number. You wouldn't have made the calls. You wouldn't have went over there. You wouldn't have had dinner. You wouldn't have had sex. If you really wanted to protect my feelings, but your version of protecting my feelings is just keeping the information that it all happened away from me. That is so selfish and hypocritical, brother. Just throwing that out there. Jody.
So D Nunn said, so it's not a thing of entitlement, but a thing of openness. And
absolutely.
That's exactly what it is.
And see, he's a man. And he said, I don't have a problem with this transparency with my fiance or with my wife.
Right.
And so
JJ said, what if there is not hesitancy? What if they just don't think they should have to? Is that how you define validation in a relationship? Is that a deal breaker?
It definitely doesn't define validation in a relationship. There are so many. I mean, if a man asks for your hand, to me, that's validation of the relationship. Yeah. You getting some diamonds on your finger, that's validation of the relationship. So I don't think that having a passcode is validating anything. But I think, like, going back to, what Vernon said about the transparency, and even what we've said, it's just showing that this is 100% transparency in this relationship. Because see, if I can't have your passcode now, you sound like you type of person that's hiding money.
Right. Or that you would hide things. And my thing is, like you said, how you said, well, what if you just think you don't have to? You're not doing it for you, right? Like, there's certain things in relationships or in marriage where you're doing it because you're trying to be selfless, because you know that it would create an atmosphere where your partner is going to feel more comfortable, whatever it is. There's things that they're going to like that you don't really care for.
Right.
Things, and so it's a level of compromise, right? So if you know that, okay, this is something that would make them feel a level of intimacy or feel like I don't have anything to hide, even though I don't feel like I need to do that, because I love them and I know that it would appease them and, create the atmosphere, I'll do it. Just like I don't care about sports games, or I don't care about this, but I'm going to go because I know that's what he's into. It's no different than that.
It's really not. Because it's not that important.
Yeah, it's not that important. So I wouldn't be like, well, I don't think I have to go to the game. Well, he can go. I don't feel like I have to go because I don't.
And I understand your work phone, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Because you got top secret stuff in there. You got confidential files. That's different. But your personal phone, come on now. I do want to say welcome to the show, Raven Nunn. Thank you for joining us tonight. And Shakandra Gaines. Thank you, ladies, for coming on. As you can see, we are deeply embroiled in this topic.
Please share the video if you haven't. It takes a second. Just hit share.
You guys share the video, like it, all that good stuff. No, catch them up on
All right, so we have a young viewer who ended up writing in and said, should my fiance have my passcode? He says if I have nothing to hide, then it shouldn't be an issue. But I feel like it's overkill and he's doing too much because I want to know, like, where is this coming from? So should my fiance have my passcode? And that's what we're asking on tonight. Like, have you been in a situation where you've volunteered your information or your partner asked for the information, and like, what was your stance on that? So that's where we are.
And I think too, it's about how it's asked for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think how and the reason it's asked for, or like the context of how it happened.
The context is extreme. I think that plays a huge role. Because if you're with someone, let's just say, who might be insecure, and let's just say it happens to be your, I don't know, let's say you went out with your girls or you went to eat something, and something like you come home and they're like, what's the passcode to your, that's automatically going to put you on the defense, and you'll be like, for what do you need
what did you
for?
hear, bro?
Yeah, like, no. Or I didn't know where you just come and they just, give me, let me see your phone. That's okay. Like, wait a minute, like, let's talk about this. Not that I have an issue, but your delivery and the way you're coming at me right now, it shows us deeper than what you're asking for. So let's talk about that. So I completely agree that the context and the delivery plays a huge role.
And I would say if the motive is jealousy and insecurity, then no matter what he finds, he's gonna twist that thing. It could be you and your cousin
homegirl
on Facebook
anything
talking, catching up on old times, and you can swear up and down it's my cousin. They won't believe you. And at this age, I'm not finna call my cousin, put you on three-way to confirm that's my cousin. You're gonna believe me or you're not. And if you're not gonna believe me, then now we have a trust issue because I can't trust you with the truth.
I'm too old for that. Let's say JJ said, I'm not saying I wouldn't, I'm just asking for perspective.
No, get it straight, JJ, because go ahead.
Just interested in the response from those that said they would not share it.
Oh, okay. So you try to provoke comment from them.
Oh, devil's advocate. I thought you were saying like
you took over the whole offense. No,
Marcus said we share bank accounts, but I can't have the passcode.
Right.
Make it make sense.
Like this. Yeah, I don't get it. I wouldn't get it if I was in that situation. That's crazy.
Marcus said that's what liars say, not men. Okay, thanks for the clarification.
Thank you for clarification.
All right.
Yes, sir.
And Dan said, doesn't define it, but the question is, why are we connecting if we're not connecting fully? Right. That's the whole bar.
That is. I'm gonna put that in my next rap. Listen, I'm just saying, and that he hit the nail on the head. It was all kind of, saying you could use for that. But my question is, and it kind of goes back to something I said at the beginning of the show tonight. Why would you ask me to commit in a lifelong commitment, but you're not ready to let go of the foolishness? You're not ready to be open. You're not ready to delete some stuff. You're not ready to disconnect from some bad connections. Then why even ask me if you know that you're not ready to be what a husband is? And then the question is, I know all men don't know what it takes to be a husband because maybe they didn't have an example. Maybe there needs to be some husband classes that a man could go to.
They have them. The question is, are these men going to take them?
Well, if they out there, I've never seen one. I know there's been men conferences, but I don't even know if they teach you how to be a husband. But I'm thinking it needs to be something just that fundamental. Like you getting married, you need to come to this husband class so you can know how to be a good husband because we perish for a lack of knowledge and we suffer, women and men, because of dealing with people that have a lack of knowledge of how to be a husband, how to be a wife, how to fully be engaged, how to be 100% transparent, how to become one, and so come on, somebody help
Please.
Somebody.
Help the people.
Help us.
Marcus said, not for real. Let's get that going.
For real. Listen, and it's gonna take a manly man that has learned some things.
Vernon,
listen, because there's books out there, but unfortunately, our culture has gotten away from reading, and so
put it on a TikTok.
Somebody said, if you want to hide a secret, put it in the book. Well, that's very sarcastic, but it's funny, but it's so true. Because we don't pick up books anymore. When I say I throw myself into everything, I developed a love for reading at a young age, and thought I was going to be an author when I grew up, but Lord had other plans.
I mean,
but the point is that I am, but I thought that was going to be like my full-time job. That's all I was going to do is just be in cabins in mountains.
It's all I vision it.
Yeah. But yeah. So my thing is that we got to figure something out, and we cannot assume that everybody we're in a relationship with everybody that is asked us to marriage know how to be that to us or know what to be.
Right. That's very true. And that's what we talk about all the time, that when it comes down to you and your own personal parameters and your boundaries and what's needed to love, quote unquote, you correctly, you have to be willing to express that, right? Because you can't go into any relationship and be like, oh, well, that's common sense. I shouldn't have to teach you how to. Everybody was raised different. So you can't, you have to give people the opportunity to establish what it is that you want, what you expect, establish an expectation so that there can be accountability and there can be growth. But if you never say anything and just expect them to know, and then you take offense when they do something, but you never said anything, that's how you end up just swallowing a whole bunch of gnats. Because now y'all fighting over a whole bunch of small stuff, but you never said anything. They would know, you know?
But then I think it's a difference between teaching you me and teaching you how to be a man. And teaching you how to treat a woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't have the fundamental foundational items already in place, I can't work with you, you know, and that's just serious. I don't have a problem teaching you what I like, you know, what makes me happy, because you don't know. You never dated me before. You've never been engaged to me before.
If you were to meet a man at this age who doesn't have the basics down,
I don't have time. I'm just
so
serious.
The real question is, you just have to ask yourself, okay, are you willing to be professor or not? That's what it boils down to. Some people have the patience to say, well, you know what, I feel like they have they have a lot of great qualities, and I understand maybe they came up dysfunctional in their background, so they're a little thrown off. That's all right. And I'm willing to work with them. I have the patience for that. Some of you have the patience to be professor, some of you don't. So if you don't, then you know that makes sense. And if you do, God bless you. Okay? So because the truth is, we all have to be willing. We're gonna have to teach something. We can't just assume. And I think a lot of us do that. We get into relationships and we just assume, oh, he didn't bring me flowers. The last woman said she didn't like flowers. So you want him to assume that you do. So you got to make your petitions known, even to God. God is all knowing, but he still wants you to make your petitions known. He still wants you to pray your heart. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be willing to share with him and not just assume, which makes an ass out of you and me, which is the breakdown for that. You can't assume that a man is supposed to just know what you want, what you like, because all of us are different. Nana is sapien. You know what I'm saying? Well, we both are sapien or sapiosapien. Sapiosexuals.
We're sapiosexuals, okay?
She made it for whole species.
Just throwing it out there.
That too.
We're sapiosexuals, which means we're stimulated by intellectual conversation. Whereas some women be like, la 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 la. You talk too much.
That's enough.
Right? That's like, why is you telling me all this? So we have got to, first of all, be willing to learn what the other person likes and what they want. You know what I'm saying? And not just have this cookie cutter version of ourselves. Where it's like, oh, I'm not willing to bend or not willing to move, because we're all different. Hey man, can I get a high five? Some hearts, some life, just somebody to come into agreement with me on tonight.
Vernon said, I think as long as your partner doesn't have the propensity to be controlling, manipulative, or insecure, then sharing your passcode is nothing.
Respectfully, absolutely. And you would know that. You would know if they got those propensities. Why? Because you've been in a relationship with them. You've had time to get to know them. So don't let me tell y'all something. If y'all don't get in out this show, don't ignore the red flags.
Please don't. Okay. It ain't 6 flags. Marcus said everybody needs a foundation to build upon.
Yes, sir. You got to have that foundational stuff. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, what are we building on? Quicksand? You know what I'm saying? Like, no. And then also, if every relationship you've been in has failed and they broke up with you, you need to look at you.
The common denominator. Which is why, again, we go back to, there is nothing wrong with therapy. Okay, therapy is not something that means that you're a crazy, that something's wrong with you mentally, any of that. Just like you go to the doctor and you take care of yourself, that's health, right? Mental health, that's the reason why it has to do with your health. Is you just want to be healthy mentally, emotionally. It's self-care. That's all that it is. And when you say, oh, well, I don't need to go to therapy because there's nothing wrong with me. Therapy isn't for wrong. Therapy is for wanting to become a better you. Period. That's all that it is. So this stigma of, oh, that means something's wrong, or you're only going, or as couples, if you go, oh, me and my significant other are in counseling, oh girl, what's going on, what's wrong? Nothing. Like we're going to counseling to be better.
Right.
Like that's all that it is. So if you understand that the reason for therapy is to be better, then you'll understand there's nothing wrong with therapy. So go for it.
Right. Kendall Shepherd, thank you so much for joining us on Women of Power Radio Show. Feel free to jump in the conversation.
Yeah.
You know, some people say, well, I've got my best friend, I've got family. But if we be honest, we have all these people in our lives, and there's certain things we tell certain people. You know what I'm saying? And most of us don't have anybody, or I'm saying we should have at least one person that we can feel comfortable saying, my mind is unraveling, you know, or something's going on with me. I'm stressed. I'm this, I'm that. And, but in order to get those tools that are needed to just have a beautiful, healthy life, you know, you might have to seek outside therapy to just,
JJ said, that's why I asked for perspective. Sharing a phone password doesn't ensure openness, transparency, and full commitment, though that should be a form of evidence of the commitment. Domestic disturbances are our top 911 call for service.
Wow.
And this is one of the main argument topics.
Is the passcode on the phone?
Are you serious?
See? We're trying to help y'all avoid 911 domestic violence calls.
Yeah, but shut up, passcode.
Just saying. But I mean,
that is I did not know that. That's crazy.
Either. That's cray. Wow. See, you learned something new on the Women of Power Radio Show.
Okay, you heard it here first. Vernon said many of us men at all ages and stages can dunk like LeBron, sex-wise, but don't have the fundamentals, conversation, honesty, and protection and leadership. Right.
Because, sir,
you
just said 25 mouthfuls. And the reason why I say that is because I think what it is that men have been allowed to be in relationships where it is all about sex based. The women are not requiring anything else outside of them. They're just happy to be in the presence. They're happy that, he called me. Oh, he wants to sleep with me. Oh, he wants to spend time with me. And being oblivious to the fact that that's not a relationship. That's not anything of sustenance. That's just, what do you call it? Somebody just sleeping with a fling or something like
benefits. It's not sustainable. And there's no foundation. Like you're just floating on the physical, and that never lasts.
Right. And so we have got to change our requirements when it comes to friendships, relationships, business relationships, because they say a closed mouth doesn't get fed, but also a closed mouth doesn't get heard. And I think sometimes we operate in such fear of losing people that we stay silent when we should be saying something. And then it builds and it builds and it builds until we're yelling it. And the people are like, where did this come from? But it's just been building up. So we got to stop letting stuff build up and address stuff when it's small. Because like those domestic calls about not having a passcode, trust me, that built up. You don't just, the first time you ask for a passcode and they say no, it turned to, we got to call the popo. But it's been time and time of being quiet, of that person turning their phone over, or making sure you can't see stuff, or walking out the room and taking calls, to where now it's like, I need the passcode for your phone. And they say no. And you're like,
that reminds me though. I don't know how, this is alleged. Y'all have all seen what happened with the football player Ruggs and how he had the DUI fatal crash, right? And that ended up killing someone in Vegas. So I don't know if y'all saw the video where like his girlfriend is like holding him and she's saying, oh, I'm sorry. And he's like cursing, and the car is still on fire behind them, and like the woman who he hit. Well, apparently they're saying after this investigation, or during this investigation, what they found is that what caused the incident, even though he was wrong because he was going 156 and he was intoxicated, they were actually fighting in the car. They said that she was upset about a woman or something, a girl that he had been talking to, and she had grabbed the steering wheel and was punching him. That's the reason why he crashed. And if you see the video where he's sitting down, she keeps saying, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. And he's like cussing at her.
And then she died?
No, the girlfriend didn't die. Remember, she was the one in the car with the football player. Okay. They killed someone else. He was going 156 and crashed into a girl. The car exploded. There's footage of literally the car's on fire, completely engulfed in flames behind them. And he's sitting on the curb and he's in shock. He's going in and out of consciousness. But then she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. So he says something
so she knows it's her fault.
Yeah, she knows it's her fault. The whole time she's consoling. He's like really upset. He's pissed and like yelling at her, telling her to stop yelling, and he's cursing and everything like that. So now they're saying they're looking at even charging her with an accessory to the crime. But again, that's what we're talking. Like, it should never even get to the point when it comes to like putting hands on somebody because of you wanting to know about. If it gets to that point, just leave. Like, y'all, it's not worth it because all of that and now a whole life was taken, which I'm sure, you know, he was intoxicated, but clearly, I mean, he was driving. He was, even though he should never been behind the wheel. I'm pretty sure the reason why he hit her was because he couldn't see. You know, that's why he slammed into the girl.
Right. Man, Brittany Williams, thank you for joining us on Women in Power Radio Show. We are actually closing up the topic on the bottom, which is, should my fiance have the passcode to my family? I mean,
to my family? What? Whose family has the passcode? That's weird.
I'm sorry. To my,
yeah. Marcus said domestic car wrecks 2021. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So, listen, do we have time to go into other topics, or you want to just finish this topic out?
I want to finish this one out because I got 10 minutes. I don't want to do the other one a disservice.
Right. We'll save that next question for next week, you guys, so you can definitely come back and tune in and jump in on that one, because that's going to be interesting. And then we'll have a second question as well. Yes. Brittany says, hey, love y'all. Listen, we love you right back, Brittany.
Love your picture too, girl.
Yes, fire.
Jay just said do the other topic.
We have a few minutes. I don't the show supposed to end at 9. At 9, JJ. We always end up going over because our listeners are so engaged. So we're going to stick with this topic. Let's finish this out. Mm-hmm. So you guys share your final thoughts, because we want to help this listener. Give the whole scenario again, not just the question, but the whole scenario.
Okay, so we have a young woman whose fiance wants her passcode to her phone. She's asking, should I give my fiance the passcode? Because he says if I have nothing to hide, it should not be a problem. But I feel like this is overkill and it's doing too much because I don't know where this is coming from. So the question is, would you or should you give your fiance the passcode to your phone? So I think, again, depending on the way that he asked, personally, I don't think anything is wrong with it in general, but I feel like if he did it in a manner of where it is coming from a place of jealousy or insecurity, I would definitely want to have a conversation about that, because that's the root. Like, this is just a symptom of that. So I would want to find out, like, what is it? Do you have trust issues? Do you feel like I'm doing something? Maybe you all need to also, look into counseling to talk about that, because a passcode is not going to solve trust issues.
It's not. And even too, was it an entitlement? Like, now I'm your fiance, you need to give me a passcode.
That'd be so funny. Like, y'all come home after the proposal, you all are clout 9.
Yay!
Yeah, man, give me that phone. Wait, what?
I need all the details.
Yeah,
that would be a big turn off for me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
So come on, you guys, give us your final thoughts on that. I would say to this listener, context is definitely like 1,000. Mm-hmm. What is the motive behind? And I understand she's like, what prompted this? But I think it should happen organically, and it just should be a level of happen organically through transparency on both sides. Right. Like, babe, answer my phone, babe. Can you call my mom, babe? Can you tell me who that was? Text and respond, kind of like what you said earlier. Mm-hmm. I think it should just be an organic process. I don't think it needs to be something that's intentional, like, now I need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be like a red flag for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, what's behind
it? And if you really have a lot to hide, you can always just change your number, If you feel like people are going to be messaging you from the past, or if you have people who still randomly will pop up and you just ignore them, but you feel like now that he has my passcode, if he sees this, he wouldn't believe me, or it's going to cause a whole World War III, then just change your phone number.
I'm not changing my phone number.
Oh,
if I can't tell you, oh, this is my ex, I haven't talked to him in 2 years, I don't know why he's hitting me up. If I can't explain that to you and you be like, oh, okay, cool, and then we got an issue.
They never said, okay, cool.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe the people I've dated got trust issues, because I've done the whole, like, I don't know. I haven't heard from, because let me tell y'all something. I've had the same number since my freshman year in college. My number has not changed for the past 15 whatever years. So with that being said, I do get a lot of messages from time to time, randoms, just, hey, what's up, how you been? And I'm like, okay, who's this? And I've had it happen to where I got a phone call in their presence, and they were like, who is that? And I'm like, I haven't talked, I didn't know who it was. I told them I had a boyfriend. They were like, oh, my bad, I respect that, and hung up. But it was like, well, who's that? No, you lying. So with that being said, and this happened even with text messages, when I gave the access to the phone, someone text, not an unsafe number, which goes to show I don't know who it is. Right. But like, oh, hey, beautiful. It's been 6 years. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I always get in trouble. So that's what for me.
Right.
When I do, I'll probably just change my number because I ain't trying to be fighting all the time.
Listen, trust should be the pinnacle of should be at the top, the foundation, the middle, the cream, the strawberry feeling, everything in a relationship. And if we don't have that, if I can't give you a simple explanation for something, you believe me, that's a problem. And so my question to you and you is, am I unrealistic in believing that it's possible to have a relationship to where you just say something and they believe it?
No, because I've been the one who believed it. I've been the one when a call was coming. It's like, oh, this is just so and so. I'm just like, okay, cool. But like I said, even in those times where I was like, oh, okay, cool, they were lying. You know what I'm saying? That they were actually cheating.
But does that mean that's the next person?
No, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, even though that happened to me, I still, if I'm with someone now and they were to say, oh, this girl is calling right now and I'm not answering because I haven't talked to her, I don't know what she wants. I'm not going to be like, oh, wait a minute, the last dude did that, so he must. I just be like, oh, okay, cool. I don't trip. I'm just a laid back person.
Let me make my own mistakes, which I don't plan to. I would not have accepted your ring if I planned to make mistakes. So we have to allow people to make their own mistakes and not hold them to the mistakes people have made in the past. Because otherwise you will never have a healthy relationship. And that's kind of like, I really wish we could have gotten to that second question about healing. You know what I'm saying? From past hurts, because we don't take the time to heal. We just jump from relationship to relationship, and we're dragging all of this baggage that we don't even know how to unpack because we don't have the skills to do it. We don't have the life, the tools, we're not equipped. We're not equipped to unpack it. And so we just love it around.
Eager to get into another relationship.
Right. Yeah. And then we take, oh, he cheated on me. He broke my heart. Okay, that's in my suitcase. Now I'm dragging that. Oh, he's a liar, habitual liar. Oh, he's a manipulator. Now it's all in your suitcase, and you're dragging it into this relationship with Prince Charming or Princess Charming, whoever he or she is. And now you're unpacking all this crap, and it's like, this is not my shirt. Quit trying to put it on my back. It's nothing worse than somebody trying to put somebody else's shirt on your back. I'm not that dude. I'm not that person. I'm not that female.
They didn't run up that tab, so quit trying to make them pay for it. Okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Kim Smith, thank you for joining us on tonight.
Thank you, Kim.
Yeah.
Vernon said, men have intuition too, whatever. No, we know. Maybe he's feeling some unease, and her apprehension may cause him some trepidation. Y'all in these vocabulary words. Come on here. Moving forward. I mean.
Okay, yes. Men have intuition. They have discernment. Tanya Renee Shaw, thank you so much for joining us on tonight. And you're right. That's true. But when we're talking about that, we're saying male or female, whoever you are, use your discernment. Don't allow someone to make you doubt what you know God is trying to tell you or God is trying to show you. Don't do that, because people will try to manipulate what you are feeling and what you're thinking and try to make you think you crazy when you know you're not. But if they keep doing it, they'll cause you to doubt. But you got to trust your intuition. So yeah, I know men have intuition, and I know that they follow up on it just like women do. But we just have to not be swayed. You know what I'm saying? We got to be specific in our prayers. Lord, don't just give me the discernment that something's popping out. Reveal it to me.
Let it come to light. That was my prayer. Let it come. I fasted, and literally it was like a week and a half later, everything that had been going on came out. Like everything. Tiffany said, sounded like some old school uncle was in his ear, but you should ask him why he wants it. I don't see a problem sharing it though. Right.
Like, I mean, y'all are engaged. So obviously there's a level of respect and a level of trust that have got you this far.
Right.
And so don't allow this gnat to cause you to choke.
This gnat. Okay.
Right.
It keeps making me think of the little Junebug off The Princess and the Frog. The little firefly. He was so cute. Marcus said, my final thoughts. If she doesn't want to give up her passcode, let her go. She's not worth it. If she's worth it, shut up and let it ride.
Dang, Marcus, you just gonna throw a whole fiance away because you can't get the passcode?
If she's worth it. So you're saying if she's worth it, even if she doesn't want to give it to you, just take that L?
Well, he said let her go if she's not worth it. But obviously she's worth it because he asked her to marry him. Yeah. So... But I do believe that her not giving that passcode is going to cause an issue. But him not saying what prompted him to all of a sudden ask for it. Because this is the thing. You're not going to have to ask me for my passcode if we engaged or married. Because it's something that I wouldn't mind giving you in an organic situation where you would actually need it. Not just being like, okay, we're engaged. Here go my passcode. Here my passwords. It's not gonna pop like that. But I wouldn't have a problem divulging it if the occasion arose. Babe, use my phone. But what's your passcode? 267434. You know what I'm saying? It should be just like that. It shouldn't be my passcode. Oh, you need where your phone? Oh, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. So, Marcus, thank you for those final thoughts. Anybody else have a final thought on this topic? Anybody else want to jump in and try to help this listener? But like I said, I believe that you should find out why he's asking for it. And then if he doesn't divulge that, that's a whole nother issue. But you shouldn't have a problem sharing your passcode. You shouldn't have anything to hide.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, because thinking about it from my experiences, though, I feel like for me, I'm unmoved on both sides in the sense that I've been in a relationship where the access was given to everything, but it didn't change anything in the end. So I don't look at it as, oh, just because you're giving me your passcode makes me think I can trust you any more than I can trust someone who doesn't, because I've been in situations where that happened and it was doing the same thing anyway. So for me, it's like, if you give it, that's great. If you don't, I don't care either way, because I've seen both sides, and to me, they turned out the same. So, yeah.
Well, I'm not looking for none of that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share my passcode. I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust God. Gonna send me somebody trustworthy. Come on here. It's time out for foolishness, y'all. Okay. Yes. How would you say that?
Spider B.
Spider B.
Hey, Spider.
Thank you so much for joining us on tonight. Kim Smith, what's up? I already shouted you out. Tanya Renee Shaw.
Since y'all just jumped in, if y'all do want to give in your input on this, we can.
Yeah, the question is scrolling on the bottom of the screen. We're actually doing final thoughts right now, kind of like Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
We've already given our final thoughts. And like I said, contextually, I would want to know why he's all of a sudden asking, but realistically, it shouldn't be a problem. I mean, we're engaged to be married. So
this just so that we're, for those who are like in relationships and not on fiance or marital status.
You don't need my passcode.
Okay, just to make that clear.
If we're dating,
so people watching this are like, oh, well, I feel like, because I know people in relationships who they feel like it's necessary, and they go through each other's again.
You don't have the right.
They're going through each other's phone, and they're not even married.
It's some rights that come with marriage and engagement that should not be given. I know you can't, but I try to tell them every show.
Lord, they give out every marriage benefit now with nothing more than we go together. Like, not even that. You show right. Not even that. And so that's why if I got to bring it up every show to impress it into the minds and the hearts of the people.
Come on here. We have got to stop giving away marriage privileges to boyfriends. And like I told you, I don't even believe in boyfriends. I'm single until I'm engaged. And so, that's Kashaology.
We'll revisit that part 2 in 2022.
Yes, we've got to. So much more. So listen, well, we want to thank everyone for joined us on tonight. Nana wants to share a short little video with you guys, and then we'll be right back.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Nana with Women of Power Radio Show, and I'm just coming through to remind you to follow us on Facebook at Women of Power Radio Show, and make sure you follow us on Instagram if you haven't already. That's Women of Power 5. Because at the end of the day, what kind of savage squad are you if you're not actually following us? See you there. All right. So we are back. So you guys make sure you check out all of our social media and like, love, woo-woo, share. And again, if you haven't started following us on YouTube, please make sure you take the time to subscribe, hit the bell so you can get all the notifications. And remember, we don't care if you ever watch us off of YouTube or not. It's for the algorithms. Even with these videos, when y'all tune in live, please even like the video. We appreciate the shares, but even the likes help with the algorithm. So if y'all can just like, we would really like that. All right. Absolutely. And if you feel led, feel free to also bless us at $WOP Radio, which allows for us to continue to give you guys great content and upgrade with the technology and things, the broadcast. I feel. Absolutely. I hope you like that.
And this is a ministry.
Absolutely. And remember that you can submit your questions to us right here in the comments. If you don't care to be anonymous, you can slide in our DMs right here on Facebook, or you can email us at womenofpower5@gmail.com. And we will, everyone is anonymous. I mean, we don't tell you who anybody is anyway, but so feel free to let us know what you want to talk about. You got anything? Let us get in your business for your benefits.
Right. And as you can see, we got a lot of input. It'd be very helpful.
Yes. So y'all make sure to tune in next week. Same bad place, same bad time. 8 p.m. See you all. Y'all have a great night. Don't forget to share the video if you haven't already.
We love you.
Bye.
Get some hearts and likes on your way out, y'all.